Talk about these flashbacks. I actually did want to have a general discussion about some of the better and best flashbacks in Tower of God, but also specifically read the comments because I did this. I think I did this 5 days ago. I'll give you guys five. I usually give you guys like one day to do this. I gave you guys about 5 days to comment on this, so we're gonna go through them. What's up? What's somewhat different from other submissible and breathable?
A little something like eeny, meeny, right from the beginning. Smoke a little pack, but the pack never timid. Church, but I'm seeing it. Curse when I'm winning. She need a new back. When it's back, I'ma bend it. Slap up some guinea. Ask me to hit it. Watch a nigga black super yak, I'ma quit it. Swerve in the Benzie. Perfume is Fendi. Bobbin' move fast, real fast like I'm Ricky. That's 'cause I'm pretty. Came from the dirt. Shovel up a nigga can't handle the work. Ooh, y'all, swing with it first. Young white girl like a ram with it.
So here I asked. This recent flashback with Wang Wang, Yasratcha, Nene, Traumerei, how do we feel about it? Was it one of the better, more interesting backstories in Tower of God? Did you find it lackluster? Maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Please share your thoughts, and you can be as detailed as you want to be. So I thought, despite like me like not particularly loving Wang Wang in a personal sense, I actually thought this flashback was really good. So I want to see what you guys are thinking. Beta male dog. Can't blame him for that. Just makes him trash. Man died, kneeling to get mercy from his master. Yeah, it's just not moving me. Like, it's just, But okay, good or not, I think it was a much needed change of pace ever since the hidden floor arc. With Bam versus Dada Jahab, the series has been non-stop action with power levels getting higher and higher in every single chapter. It's been a really long time since we had any time to breathe. So you're saying that we're not having enough downtime. Like, I do think that these type of series with a lot of action do benefit from a bit of a like adrenaline reset, where like things go crazy. You go to the crescendo to the climax. I do think you should have a down period. I do think series that just keep going and try to pile on top of the combat and action and awesomeness lose steam because that becomes very normal for the series after a while. You know. And you have to one up yourself. That's not easy. Hold on. Wang Wang, the most cucked character SAU's ever wrote. I mean, that he really named that mother effer Wang Wang. I don't think we can expect much. Is that what you expect? Yama got his mom's guts and fierceness. Feel that. And look where that guts got her. Oh man, look at you. You guys are wrong for that. Oh my goodness. Nenea, I respect you. You weren't there long, but I like you. You did what you had to do. I'm here and I'm present. What is poppin'? Welcome. East to West reacts, my guy. Just okay for me. Yasratcha telling it made it interesting. I was definitely here for seeing and learning more on the Lopobia. I think that's probably the thing I appreciated about the flashback more so than anything. It was just kind of seeing the inner workings of the Lopobia family. Like, I don't know if that was Kirin, but even seeing some of them just talking like about the two, I think branch leaders or branch leader candidates, and Yasratcha's like, why don't you just kill both? And Traumerei's like, this cat amuses me. You know, like, we got to kind of see a little bit of family inner workings and politics. I don't know if it's specific to how the Lopobia family does things, but I appreciated that. And it's interesting that we had a flashback with a family head, you know? That was dope. I've been streaming out not too long. Like 8 minutes. I think if you press exclamation mark uptime or downtime, it'll tell you how long I've been streaming. I have Nightbot. But okay. I like the flashback a lot, even though that wasabi hit me. Jesus Christ. My fault. Hold on. Woo! I wasn't ready for that. Okay. I like the flashback a lot, even though I don't really like Wang Wang. It made me appreciate Yasratcha's character more. It's one of my favorites so far in the series. Wouldn't have minded it to be longer, to be honest. If you guys in the chat right now, how you guys like this flashback? Do you think it's one of the better ones? Just out of curiosity, if you didn't comment already here. That one guy who disliked the video is a crazy name. I wonder if he goes to every video and dislikes it. Definitely one of the better flashbacks in TOG. We got some information about the time before family heads, and even got to see one of the beasts that Traumerei controls himself. plus I really enjoyed the whole Yasratcha thing. All right. Wang might be the least prideful ranker we have seen, or most prideful if you think loyalty to his master is a source of pride. I do think people did have some varying perspectives. I like what chat room has to say about Wang, saying that like apparently there's like a word or a phrase in Chinese that translates to foolish loyalty, and I guess Wang is a he represents that. Always like the Yasratcha. This flashback made him even more interesting. Do you guys think he's dying? I don't think Yasratcha's making it out of this arc, bro. I think he's about to die. It was average to me. The only thing I really enjoyed was Traumerei and Yasratcha. That's fair. So what flashbacks did you like a lot more than this one, just out of curiosity, in terms of the ones you got in Tower of God? Like which ones are better to you? Good timing plus good concept plus Yasratcha plus lore. It has been the ingredients to one of the best flashbacks in TOG. The only reason I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have is Wang. Anak's flashback still reigns supreme. I'm not mad at that. Hers is incredible, and I think it's gonna tie into so much more things. You know what I'm saying? Yasratcha definitely dying to give Yama his last power up. Oh, there's probably that too, and I guess it would like reaffirm. I have a sneaking suspicion that this arc will kind of reaffirm Yama's like, I'm a slayer. I'm here to take down one of the family heads. You killed my father and someone that my father trusted, like Traumerei. I want you dead, you know? So, yeah. Elaine. Lopo be Elaine the GOAT. He's not wrong. But the best one is Mule Love, baby. Yeah. Mule Love. You crazy? Viola and Azul. I really like this flashback. I like the little insight to how the great family functions, about the creation of Beastkin, and the depth of Wang and Yasratcha's characters. I do not think Wang is a poorly written character. I've always said that. It was interesting to watch the fate of Wang, even though I didn't really like his character, and how everything is connected with instincts, which Yash was constantly talking about even before this flashback. I started to like Yasratcha as a character even more than before, and it became more or less clear why he hasn't killed Yama. The highlight for me was Traumerei, having shown how he deals with problems. Now we can understand more clearly how difficult the situation in the nest is. This man is a demon and I like it. It's funny how Yasratcha said, let's kill 2 branch leaders without trial because they're causing trouble. Traumerei, okay, your way of doing things is amusing, starts killing Wang and then was as Yasratcha taught. Yeah. No, I think Kaiser has probably one of the best backstories for real though. Anak is up there. The stuff with Kun, and I think, is her name Maria? I'm sorry if I'm wrong, is interesting. There's a couple that I want to know more of. I want to dive deeper into, but see, I wouldn't call this a flashback, but I always think of the lore drop that we got from Graham. That was crazy. It was good. It was a top 3 flashback. Very solid, nothing insane though. What did I say? The least enjoyable part was Wang. He is awful. Oh man, that Wang, bro. We just can't fool with him. Like and he's not moving us. So wait, what did you say? Will you be streaming? Yeah, a Raw this week. I actually kind of want to talk about the last chapter. I won't lie to you. I might just like stop this stream, start a new one real quick. So I think I might do it today, bro. I won't lie to you. So, stay tuned. Okay, Malik. Zoom. Wait, lightsaber on. Yeah. I like the flashback for the most part. It added to Yasratcha, who became my favorite character of the arc, and set up potential ancient plot lines. And then what's cool about White is a big mess for me personally. Dude really gave up on life when he had 3 kids left. Couldn't root for him at all. Maybe just me, but it seemed like the story tried to portray his loyalty and subservience as honorable as much as it was a flaw. and those mixed signals confuse me at times. I hope SRU doesn't shift towards a Yas redemption, Traumerei, a menace. He clean though? Yeah, I feel that. Garam's lore drop is definitely a story to find a moment. Of course, yeah. I agree. Garam's lore drop was good. I prefer that. I can't not think of that moment when I think of like a moment in Tower of God where I got so many answers to questions or like just like information that I thought was so vital to Bam Bam's lineage and the story of the tower. It made me like Yasratcha even more. He doesn't mess with Traumerei, the weirdo, and that's a big meat energy. Lord of Flashbacks, SIU, what's up, Vince? Team Yasratcha all the way, okay. Surprisingly good. Made me a Yas believer. That meant dying. That's crazy. Yasratcha and Traumerei were the highlights. I wanted more explanation of how the Fang works and why Wang Wang is immune to Traumerei's control. I agree with that. Arcanak ended up going into Yama, but I hope SIU goes more into the ancients and their history in the tower. I think he will. I think whatever Arcanak was trying to figure out with Wang Wang, when like the time stopped and he was still moving, I think he'll find that in Yama and lend him his power. That's my biggest guess or best guess. I don't know though for a fact, obviously. But you know, this SIU guy sometimes I think like he doesn't think about the story cohesively from top to bottom. He kind of segments it, and I don't think sometimes he realizes that when he adds certain things, he kind of creates conflict with older scenes. It's one of the better flashbacks in TOG. Straight to the point, we get to see a family head flex a little. Traumerei bringing Wang Wang's lover, dead body back with the light spirit still in her. All while casually having a conversation with him is pure savage on so many levels. Traumerei, the definition of I can't believe I got out of bed for this. That's funny. Oh, are you spitting today, huh? You never be something. Well, I see what you got. For me, it was a mix. The positives are Traumerei definitely. This flashback added more intrigue to his character, though I still think he might be the least interesting of the 10 great families. Heads, his demeanor, actions, and ruthlessness are all represented. The Zahard appearance in the battlefield that scene was chilling because even as a holographic image, he has a presence that the army is ready to fight for when he appears as a treat, and it's shown really well how Yasratcha wants to grab his attention. I remember he was saying he wanted to fight even harder than he ever did. What's up, East to West? We passed your comment already, but what's up? What's going on, bro? Yasratcha is next. His whole connection to Wang Wang and Nen was well portrayed. He is the one who I think is more tragic. An obsessive cat. He used underhanded tactics to get involved with the family politics and actually rose in ranks with influence. Next positive character and monster design. We had really cool looking characters from Kirin, yes, Lobi. I got Lobi, the lion Beaskin. He looks really cool. Nenea. Great monster design like Arcanak, Love Your Family Beast, and Traumerei's Eel Beast. And shout out to Nen for actually trying to change and help Wang Wang and accepting Doom like her own son. Strong mother. I don't know. She is pretty good. On to negatives. The big bozo greatest pain of hell, Wang Wang. Even though he is free from the mind control of the head, he's still stuck to his nature and never looks to change. Going as far as to have a relationship with someone on orders, and that's not it. And when he is still hesitant, when he knows his family's in danger, he doesn't man up. And you get angry when your lover dies. That's too late, and that's what he does with that anger is nothing. He's conflicted even when she died by the hands of his master. What kind of dog would be conflicted if you killed their companion? He was a bozo, and he died a worthless death. Next negative for me is Wang Wang and Nen's love story. I guess it was the first time SU has shown us a romance-ish kind of subplot. Doesn't feel right. It felt forced. It was weak. I definitely think the connection was weak. I think he did enough that I thought it was believable. Like, I'll take it. But I do think that it was like, it wasn't really moving me. I'm with you on that part. Third one is a small one, but it bothers me that we have another power-up handed to Yama with Arcanak possessing him while he was kind. Felt like Naruto Nine Tails all over again. The Yama is just like Naruto. Nothing feels like hard training underdog. Final negative for me is the pacing and length of the flashback. It was long and could have definitely been shortened and made more cohesive, so more efficient. We jumped to way too many points in time and places, and you never actually what part of the tower of these events happened. I'm actually I'm higher on this flashback. I do think it could have been a little shorter and more efficient, but I don't think the length is a problem for me. But I definitely I had the thought about the love story being kind of weak in my mind. But again, it's not a romance story, so I didn't want to deduct points for that. But yeah, he could work on that for sure. Honestly, I would have more respect for Wang Wang if he didn't disobey Traumerei out of fear of getting clapped back. I think that's not a bad point, especially if he still has his animal instincts. Because, sorry, let me just finish this last sushi, then I'm done. Oh, I dropped it! No, bitch. Yo, 5-second rule, bro. Okay. So, someone in my comment section have basically said something. What did they say? It was such a good. It was a good comment because it made me think about things differently. Like, not to run through it. It's about Traumerei. It's about Wang Wang being a potential. Oh, he was talking about general animal instincts, and that if like a wolf or a dog or whatever, if you mistreat it, it will bite the master's hand. Where it's like dogs are, or because of whatever genetic breeding that happened, are loyal and very subservient, but not to a fault. There comes a point where they will stand up for themselves, their pups, their companions, pack, whatever you want to call it, and attack the hand that feeds them, so to speak. So with some people, they were like upset that Wang Wang only seems to have one instinct, to serve. Whereas other animalistic instincts, because even when Yama was being faced with Yasratcha's full form, another form of animalistic instinct came out of him. Fear. To the point where he tried to expel all the fear in his body by yelling, but it came right back. So why I think your comment is interesting is like some animals tend to cower or just kind of submit when they know they're in the presence of a greater apex predator. So I actually would respect Wang Wang more if it was more of a fear thing. I'm with you on that. That made sense to me. Sorry, that was a long. I hope I went that was long-winded, but yeah. Stand with whatever I said. You said I don't think it was a long comment. What did you say? You said the flashback was just okay for you. Yasratcha telling it made it more interesting, and you were here for seeing more than local beer, which I agreed with. Most of understand the nuance of Wang Wang's character, but we're burying our heads in the sand because he was wilding with that loyalty. Yeah, I think we all understand. Like, yo, he served his purpose. He did what he had to do from a narrative standpoint. We don't think he's poorly written or anything of the sort. It's just like, do we personally, as individuals, can we look up to this and be like, no, we can't. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go back to where I was. Pain. Damn, Yasratcha want him and Wang Wang to climb up the tower again. It was, Charles New Japan says it was average for me, mostly because of Wang Wang. I very much enjoyed Traumerei and Yasratcha. Yasratcha is the one thing everyone seems to be like aligned with. Like, he is the bee's knees. Ren was fine, but I kind of wish we knew more about her origin. I actually agree with that. Like, just some girl there and like Arcanix in her, like this, and this kind of ties back to what Katan's saying about like the whole love story not particularly being well. I would have liked to know more about her. I still think there's a possibility that we get to learn more. I'm wondering if with each Fang, or if Yama gets all the Fangs, she'll get access to different memories and whatnot. And I wonder if like he'll be privy to a conversation of Wang Wang and Nene having a talk about where she came from. That'd be interesting. I know this isn't a raw stream, so I'm gonna keep this question vague. Is it? Okay. I don't know if I like the pattern, but I like how it fits him. If that makes sense. I'll leave it at that. But we're gonna get to it. I promise. We'll get to it. Let me just get through this and then we'll hop into that. But yeah, so it was mostly average for you. However, I was unimpressed by Wang Wang. The way he went out just made me roll my eyes. Like his wife got bodies, and he's still my master. My master. This I don't think any dog is that loyal. Overall, felt like a 6, 7 out of 10 for me. Not mad at that. Ooh, Misfit Moto says it wasn't great. Wang Wang sucked. He just wanted to be used. Yo, I honestly love like. We're like it's just crazy because like here's part of the reason why it's so jarring. I would argue whether or not you like the Baylord brothers, there's something about each one or a moment that each had you could kind of respect. I think Paul looks cool. I like the way he came in, and apparently he like was bad at like transformation. He did the half one and he helped take out the Windbird core. When fighting the Lopabia family branch leader with Doom. Doom, he's kind of a full Houndborn. He has the Fang. He was top 200. And what made me respect Doom was when Kel Helm put the bomb on his heart. And he said, bro, I'm not working for you. I don't give a fuck. Blow my heart up, nigga. Do it. Go ahead. Kill me. And I'm like, I respect that. He chose death over bondage. Then you have Yabba. Yabba just raw. then even Nea's cool. She got personality. Then you see this guy, Wang Wang. You're like, y'all came from this nigga's sack? Nah, bro. Nah, not with it. So, yeah, it's jarring. Man was down bad the moment he was named Paul. Nah, bro. Paul better than Wang Wang. It wasn't great. Wang Wang sucked to me. When he's imbued, yeah, the development was okay, but the whole flashback just felt like a power up to Yama with the 3 fangs and the ancient power to fight Traumerei. That's fair. I hear what you're saying. You're looking at it from a different perspective. Given the backstories we've been giving, this one wasn't that bad, to be honest. That's a very Ashu take. Shout out to Mysterious Green Arms. True. Oh, I refuse to be detailed. Wait, I missed the comment. It's good. It's good. It makes you again for after some letdown. Fights after fights it gets boring. And it's actually very interesting that some people are starting to say this. Because it's usually a sentiment that I think I hold, even in a series where it's action oriented, where I'm like, I've actually had enough fights. Like, sit down, have a conversation. Can I get some inner team conflict? I didn't like the way you handled that. You lied to me about this. Like, I think Tower God needs a lot more of that. So, I think after this arc, it would be really good if you could just take a chill pill a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The Tales of Betrayal, what makes TOG. But if I said the fights, he's boring. It's nice to read some story plot, details, and betrayals, and that's what makes TOG interesting, yes. I refuse to be detained. Details, says JDB. But LOL, but for real, it was an interesting backstory overall. I think it came at a decent time, as any time before Traumerei showed up would make his appearance less impactful, and any further down the road would take me out of the end of the archetype. I got you. I swear lower drafts be hitting rather than other fights. Yeah. Like, I also think that SIU's style of portraying fights in a lot of ways, it's not bad, it's not the worst, it's not ugly, and it's still a lot better. Like, he's gotten a lot better, but I thought that, like, he focuses more on flash and spectacle and, like, filters and overlays more so than the flow of the battle. And, like, there's cool panels. I just don't think it... You know, like Toriyama, you kind of follow the page in combat seamlessly. You know who did what first, what punch, what beam, who ducked and countered. I think he has a couple. Like, I thought he did a really good job with that, with the fight with Elaine, with Kaiser and Name Hunter, when Bam was on the blue orb, dodging and weaving through her weapon needle inventory. But something about the way he does them now don't move me the same. Give me White back. No. Need Bam to talk about Prince and Arc after throwing a hissy fit like that? He's not gonna, but I would love that though. I need Karaka to like not suck too. That'd be nice for me. Okay, even though the majority of the fan base doesn't like Wang Wang and love Yasratcha more, my take on it is the opposite. Wang Wang's dynamic with Yasratcha and Traumerei is an interesting one. I agree with that. I think SIU nailed this one with the flashback, but Yasratcha was shown a bit childish in the flashback, which was what made me not like him so much. My image of him changed, not in a good way. Maybe I even H8 him. Well, I'll say this. He was a lot younger. So he's younger and he had like the carefree cat personality, whatever, feline thing. So that still to me is all well connected with what he's supposed to be as a beastkin. But I would argue he's just a lot younger here. He's a lot younger. And I know time and our perception of time here in this tower is a little different. But I would say that maturity and like the more well put together thing happened after he left the Lopobia family and became a squadron commander. Like, his role's different. Like, I think he feels a much greater sense of pride fighting for the Jihad Empire and Jihad than he does Traumerei. I truly believe he never, ever, ever liked the family head. He hates that nigga. I don't know if I think he has a lot of reverence towards Jihad. So I think part of that changed his. I don't think his personality is completely different, but you get what I mean. I think it's the coloring that's brought down the quality of some fights. Not an artist though, so I can be wrong. Okay, fair enough. I'm fine with Yama getting this power up since the other people in Bam's group need something somewhat compared to Bam's resume. I actually think the reason he's been handing out these power ups is because Bam is about to get so much stronger. I really didn't expect the Leviathan thing. That did catch me off guard. I didn't think it would happen, but I think after the white absorption, it came across to me that okay, I powered up Calivan so he could still kind of keep that notch above Bam. I power up Yama by giving him the ancient Arcanak through the flashback with Nene and Wang Wang. And just, I honestly think someone I'm forgetting was a flat. Well, I know Rack and them got one. What am I forgetting? But I do think he's doing that for a certain reason. And I honestly think he's setting up a very obvious conflict with Bam and Traumerei, where Bam can wound or at least kill or severely injure one of Traumerei's beasts because he has the Leviathan, he who cannot be tamed. So, he who shall devour all things in the tower. So yeah. That's what I think. Best one yet. Karaka is what I need, though. I feel that, Tony. Okay. Is that the certified milk? That's not even CBL. That's BMC. I see. To be honest, Yasratcha feels more like a father to Doom, Yama, and Paul and this bozo. It's ironic that he's Piccolo. Is he Piccolo? You know, people call Piccolo Goku's Gohan's real dad. I know you don't like that, Glam. I know you don't like that, but I don't disagree with it. I really don't. I don't agree with it to the same degree they do, but I don't dislike the joke, so to speak. Yama and his bozos, it's ironic because at the end, he ended up betraying and disappointing everyone in his life, his master, his family, his best friend. If you're going to commit to one thing, at least choose a side and be consistent about it. If you wanted to wholeheartedly serve your master, then why did you promise Nenden that you would betray Traumerei at the end? You ended up... You know what's a good point? Because he was unable to completely choose or pick anything or lean into any type of, like, belief and just go with it wholeheartedly, he literally did disappoint everyone. Himself, Yasratcha, Nenea, his children. Even though Yama's like, I inherited it. My dad's not wrong. I don't know what he means by that yet, but yeah. He's sensei, not daddy. Also, bye. All right, take care, man. Nah, he's not sensei, bro. That's a Piccolo is Gohan's stepdad. Let's see. If you wanted to wholeheartedly serve the master, then why did you promise any trauma at the end? You ended up leaving the lives of your children as Yas's responsibility because you weren't able to muster up the courage to live with your own failures and face the consequences. A total disappointment for someone who was supposed to be untamed and the father of the Baylord siblings. Jeez. Harsh words, but I'm not mad at them. It gives more character to Traumerei and Yasratcha, which is nice. I like the flashback. Yasratcha is the new hope of this arc for real. I think it's good, but I think of it as Yama's doom and Yama's mom, especially Yama's flashback. But Wang Wang is disappointing. And Angel Selena says, I like what it did for Yas's character, and I like the story in general, but Wang Wang sucks. So I would say for this, I'm gonna refresh it to see if anyone commented now, but I would say for this, we are mostly pretty much aligned. So the newest. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, we're aligned here. But yeah, so that is that.